Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. This is Archer's Garage and Whatnot. Today is more of the Whatnot part of it. We'll be working in the yard. We found a spot in the yard that is remaining wet sometimes, and it's in an area that probably shouldn't. So we think we may have a water leak underground. So I'm going to dig it up, look for it, see what we can do to repair it. Maybe give you some tips and pointers on how to repair leaks once we find it, if we find it. So let's get started. So here's the area of concern right here. Now I was being cautiously optimistic about the water here because one, got water spout coming off the roof from the gutter system, and I've got my AC system here. So I was thinking, well, maybe the condensation off the AC system was coming here. You see how close that is? Maybe the water here. But we haven't had rain in a couple days, and you can see from the AC unit, even though it's dirty, it's not too wet there. But you come over here, and it is wet. And I've got a meter right there, so I'm thinking there might be something underground. So part of the problem, what I think may be the problem, when we first moved in, this is a new build home, and the city came to make sure the water was plumbed right. We have reclaimed water for the irrigation system, and they came and they saw that it was not plumbed right. So the builder had to come out here and fix the plumbing issue for the reclaimed water. I believe this is where that is, where they tied into the reclaimed, and I believe it is now leaking. I believe. So I'm going to dig it up today, take a look at it, see what happens. I'm not very confident in the repairs, just seeing the quality of the build of the home. So I figure I'll fix it myself. And I'll have you guys tag along, so if you have a similar problem, maybe it'll help you fix yours. Alright, so here's what we've got. Where the reclaimed fixed pipe, quote unquote fixed pipe, ties into the original pipe. It's got a leak on the bottom side there. So I've got to repair this. First I'm going to go to the meter on the other side of the house, turn the water off, make sure it does in fact stop leaking, and go from there. Alright, to turn your water off, you find your meter box. This is the reclaimed box. Mine, I open this up, and I turn the meter off. I'd already done it, and I didn't film it, just assuming everybody knew how to do it, but then I thought, well, why am I doing these videos? I'm assuming people know everything, and that's a wrong assumption. So here we go. So that's how you do it. Open this, turn that valve, and we walk over here to the pipe. Don't laugh at my grass. We're in a transition stage right now, and had to kill a lot of clover, and now my grass is suffering because it was apparently mainly clover. So anyhow, as you see, there's still water in the hole, of course, but the leak has stopped. So now I'm gonna run to the hardware store and get the repair stuff to fix that. Alright, so we're back from Ace. I was going to get some pipe, cut this open, fix it that way, but here's some stuff that was recommended to me since it's a small leak, and they didn't recommend just cutting open just yet. They said this is a very good product. Figured I'd give it a try. Wearing gloves because it is epoxy. They said you don't want to get it on your skin. Safety first, so let's get started, shall we? Alright, our first step, we need to clean the surface area of the affected pipe. And we got that. Then we need to sand it. That way the material has an area that it can bond to. This pipe is relatively smooth, and you don't want it to just fall off. All right, now I'm going to wipe off any excess dust from sanding. Got that. It's a little windy out here today, so sorry if you can't hear me. Alright, so now we've got this. Let me break off a little piece. Mash it all together until it's a uniform color, as they say. So there's two different colors of gray in there. You want to blend it all together. I'll probably do a bigger piece once I'm done with this. This piece out of here. Yeah, I'm just going to do the whole thing. Why not? We've got it, right? I'm going to mix it all up. Now this stuff claims that in 20 minutes it is as hard as steel. So we'll see. Once we get done kneading it, we'll put it on the affected area of the pipe. We're looking good. I'm gonna roll it out a little bit here, kind of like we're in cooking class here, isn't it, guys? We're in home ec here in Archer's Garage today. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get it to bond. Gotta be honest, right here at first, my confidence level isn't very high with this stuff, but we'll give it its fair shot. I can already feel it starting to get tackier and setting up. Maybe it's just in my head, but we'll see. Sorry guys, I'll show it to you once I'm done. I gotta be honest with you while we're doing this. If you're buying a home, don't always think that a new home is not going to give you any problems. That's what we thought. We were looking at older homes and I thought, well, I like old cars but new houses, because I'm not a house guy, you know what I mean? I can fix old cars, but old houses, it's not my thing. So we started looking at new houses. Well, the problem with new houses right now is they're building them so fast that the good craftsmen are being sucked up and doing other things. So they're getting the not so good craftsmen in a lot of areas. My area is being one of them. So we had a lot of issues, and we were here at least 3 times a week during the building process because the superintendent that was in charge, he wasn't. So we would point things out. Oh yeah, we'll get to that, we'll get to that. Well, he never did. So you run into things like this. So keep that in mind. If you're buying a house, either be very, very diligent and be on them, or don't be afraid to buy an old house, because you're going to run into your problems no matter what. All right, get these gloves off. Show you what we got here. So here's what we wound up with. I'm going to let it sit for a half an hour or so. It says 20-minute cure time. We'll let it sit. We'll see if the leak is cured. All right, here we go. I've given it a few extra minutes because I had some other chores that my wife dreamed up for me. It's pretty snug. I'll go over there and turn the water on now. We'll see what happens. All right, so here is how to turn the water on for those of you that didn't see me turn it off earlier. So you open up this box, if I can get it open. It helps if you have a screwdriver, but I don't have one in my hand, so I'll just do it like this. So anyhow, here's your meter. That's my neighbor's meter. You don't want to turn theirs off. Here's my meter. See this little valve right here? Let's turn it to the, let me get my strong hand. Turn it to the on position. See, it's on. You can tell it's on because it's got these 2 holes here. If they turn your water off, they line those up and put a lock on there. When the water's on, they're not lined up. So you see it like that. So there you go. Well, apparently that stuff isn't as magical as they thought it was. So I'll go buy some pipe to fix it, or some fittings to fix it. So we'll be back at it in a few minutes. All right. Water repair, take 15. So, you know, ultimately, being in the automotive industry for so long, I should have known better. This stuff is like if you have an oil leak on your engine and you just put silicone on the outside. You're not really fixing the leak, you're just putting a band-aid on it. So, anyhow, I went ahead and cut out the old piece. And I got a coupler to go in there. I probably should have cut this out and then taken it with me and get the right size, because I had to buy 2 because I wasn't sure which size to get. But at least I can return it when I get it done. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in there. Now, good tip when you're doing this stuff, always make sure you get all your burrs off your piping, because it'll definitely promote a leak. We don't want any more of that, do we? Alright, so how these work, it's got a cap on either end and a gasket that goes in there. So the first thing you do, you take it apart, put your compression cap on the pipe, your gasket on the pipe. Do the same thing for the other side. And then your coupler piece goes in the middle. It's a little tricky to cut it right at the right length, so you have to kind of fish it in there. and you screw the caps onto the coupler. Snug. Now you don't want to over tighten it and break anything, but you want it good and snug. As they say, tighten it so it breaks and back it off a hair. Alright, I'm gonna go turn the water on and see what we got. That looks better. Of course there's water down in there because I cut the pipe, but it's not leaking anymore. So there you go, guys. Again, as I always say on this channel, basic hand tools, a little bit of initiative, you save yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars in repair fees. So there you go. Now I get to fill the hole back in. So what tools did I use for this? Of course, my shovel. This old girl's got some miles on her, but she still works. I got the pick out, but I didn't use it. I was afraid I was going to hit something, and I would have, as shallow as that is. Used a garden spade to clean out underneath. Used a Sawzall to cut the pipe, but you could have used a small hacksaw, or they actually make a hand cutter for PVC pipe, which I don't have. I just use my hacksaw. And then of course the multi-millimeter or several 16ths crescent wrench, or excuse me, channel lock pliers here, or for tightening your coupler. And there you go. That's it. Simple as that. Have a good day, everybody.